We're going to go from 0 to 100,000 followers within 6 months.
And today we're at 2 followers.
My name is Ozzy.
My name's Sophia.
And you're listening to
Creators Voices. Yay! What we're going to talk about today is the 3 key takeaways, what we've learned from consuming over 100 hours of Alex Hormozi's content.
Yeah, we're huge Alex Hormozi.
And Lila, my girl.
Lila as well.
I love her. And this is across they're both of theirs. To be honest, I consume both of their content. Podcasts, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and book.
And their course too.
And interviews.
They have a course.
And the course, yes, and their interviews.
Yeah.
So I think 100 hours is kind of an underestimate, but it just sounds better.
I have a feeling we've had more than 100 hours of consuming Alex Hormozi's content.
And Layla, yeah.
And but yeah, let's get started. 3 takeaways that we've learned and we'd love to share with you guys. Starting with number 1. Sophia, you start off.
Of course I start off this guy. Do you already have your 3 or are you still thinking about it?
I'm still thinking about mine. That's what you're going
anyway,
first.
So I have mine already because I come prepared.
Go for it.
The first 2 apply more to my business, which is an e-commerce store, women's clothing, women's accessories. I guess it's not really something that is just like a one-liner. For me, my takeaway from him that I've gathered and applied to my business are more mindset shifts more than anything. So it's not just like, oh, he said this one thing and it's like what I run with forever. It's more after listening to all of this, how I'm applying it to my business.
Yeah.
And it's like the mindset that I'm going into it now. So the first thing is obviously the offer. I've upped a lot of my offers in general as far as what I can provide to the customer. So I was offering discounts. I was offering, bonuses. I was offering free accessories if they purchase certain things from my website that I felt like really started working out in the past month. I will say this. I do think my past month's revenue is on track to double what I did last month.
What?
Yeah. So little disclaimer, August for me personally has always been a better month. So it was kind of expected, but
Yeah.
I would not say that that's all it is. If I went into it with the same mindset before consuming their content, I think I wouldn't have had as much success for sure, because we are going through, a technical recession, depending on who you ask.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, before you continue though, I have a question. Because can you tell them what exactly what's your takeaway? What did he say about an offer? Like what is it?
Well, the biggest thing was just reading the book, right? The title of the book is literally $100 million offer. And he said something that, he said something that is something along the lines of make an offer so good that people feel stupid not taking it.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, and I think with e-com, it's a little different. The thing is, like, the things that I sell aren't necessarily necessities. It's not like they have to buy my shirt or buy my hoodie and that they need it. So I didn't take it like that where I had to do that, but I took it as, how do I juice up the offer?
Yeah.
From the way that I would offer my customers.
Yeah. So going back to, instead of lowering her prices to compete with other customers, she's adding more value.
Correct. And bonuses. Either that's discounts or adding on to something on top of what they're already getting that is low cost to me to provide, but is something that seems valuable. So for example, I noticed that there was a boba keychain that everybody wanted to buy for some reason when they were purchasing my backpack, and then I included that as part of an offer for anybody who purchases more than $50 worth of stuff.
That's so interesting.
But then it doesn't cost me that much.
Okay, so hold up. So you noticed a pattern of people purchasing that keychain.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is like, okay, since I'm noticing this pattern,
you can have it
I'm going to see if I can, include it into the offers. So this way, it's more of an incentive to purchase.
Yeah, exactly. So it increases customer value, average order value, and, it's funny because it's like, when I say it out loud, it's not something revolutionary. It's not something that I didn't know before, but it's just like a nice reminder to have somebody like Alex and any mentor that you listen to on YouTube or whatever, and then kind of hearing it and then being like, okay, I should be doing that too. Because, you know, as an entrepreneur, so many things are happening at once. It's hard to just remember all these things, all these little tactics. And it's about timing too. You know, the reason why August is a good month for me is because of back to school. So sales naturally go a little bit higher because people are preparing to go back to school, whether it's college, high school, whatever. So people buy more. And if you throw that in, you kind of secure the deal because they are technically looking for backpacks and schools supplies and stuff like that. But it's just making sure that getting to that yes and getting to that sale for the customer is easier because there's an incentive and there's more of a bonus. So it's not even just about discount. It's like about adding little things like that in there. So that's the first thing, is choosing up the offer in the best way that I can, right?
Yeah. So can I share my?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So like that we can go back and
forth?
Yeah,
okay. I like that.
So my number one takeaway, and this has to be within content. So one of the things that Alex Hormozi would do is he would like just dump all of his thoughts into Twitter, and whatever it would pick up, he would create content off of that. That was amazing because typically you wouldn't just normally test out content, just to any platform. It pushed me to, push TikTok, use TikTok to test out my content. And whatever does well, I create content off of that or push that content on Instagram and Shorts. That right there has helped me a lot.
Yeah.
It was my first time getting a short to 1 million views.
10 million?
Oh, well, a short, I didn't even have 1 million. And now it goes to over 10 millions on a short.
I think the last time I checked, it was at 11 million, right?
Yeah, it's at 11, so it's growing. Crazy. So what's great is this. I wasn't going to put shorts on my YouTube channel because I'm like, I don't want to mix shorts and long form content. But then I noticed that Alex is pushing shorts as well. And like it's growing like crazy. And people are loving his content. Then that actually pushed me to do the same. Yeah. And within a month, I got over 20,000 subscribers. Woo! From just implementing this, you guys. Yeah. This is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my one takeaway.
That's amazing.
To use a platform to test out content, whatever works, amplify that content to the other platforms.
Yeah. And do you change it in any way from TikTok to YouTube?
If it does very well on TikTok, then I keep it the same and post it on YouTube. Or if I notice that I can improve it in somehow, then I will tweak it.
Yeah.
But TikTok and Instagram are my testing platforms right now.
Instagram too? Or just TikTok?
Well, first it goes TikTok, then Instagram too. Yeah, because I'm all about YouTube.
Yeah, and I think it's important because YouTube audience, I feel, are more used to the polished looking videos, more like high produced. I think TikTok can get away with like low quality video, but I think YouTube, I feel like your customers.
Viewers.
Your viewers probably have higher expectations of you, especially.
Yeah. Well, that's depending on what they're used to watching from your content. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Number 2, Sophia. Number 2.
So the second one kind of ties into the first one, but it's just going the opposite way, which is how do I increase margin for myself? And I think this is the reason why it's so funny. Alex and Layla, they focus more on learning businesses or e-learning businesses because it's high margin and more service-based products. And I'm on the e-com side. And I feel like the reason why they don't like necessarily too much the e-com side of things is because of the margin. And it is unfortunately not the highest margin. But so that's like a whole nother conversation of the business as a whole. But for me, it's more about the actionable steps that I can take right now to increase margin. So I actually increased a lot of the prices on the stuff that I noticed were a little bit too low. Yeah.
Nice. That's good.
I was like, the thing is like, I know it sounds so simple. And I know it's one of those things where you've heard it 1,000 times before. I knew it before. But there's something different about actually doing it, because you're so scared of increasing a price that of items that have been doing well, because you're like, well, what if they stop buying, you know? And that's scary. So that was kind of always my struggle. And I always came into the mindset of, oh, how do I get the cost to be as low as possible for our customers? When it's like, that shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be obviously the value, the bonus, the offers, all those things. But the reason why you want to increase your margin is because you want to be able to have the wiggle room with the margin to, you know, improve your services or improve the operations within your own company so that you can do whatever you want. So in turn, even though the customer is paying maybe $5 extra now, they're going to get a lot more value if you're able to allocate that money. You know, I'm hiring another person, for example, like to do my product descriptions and stuff like that. So it's just like an example. So I don't really necessarily see it as like, oh, I'm greedy, I'm charging more because I want to charge more. No, I'm charging more because I kind of need the money to make it better.
Yeah, well, that's the way you grow a business, or else your business is not going to grow.
Yeah, but you know, it's funny is that, and I know that they talked about this too. They had this weird thing about like charging a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it's not about the money. It's about what you can do with that money to, in turn, go back to helping your customers even more with their experience.
Yeah.
As a customer, as your customer, and fulfilling that promise that you have with them. You know, and servicing them the right way. But you can only do that with money.
Yeah, no, I'm so proud of you. You're raising the prices, because we've talked about this, and I know how hard it is for you to raise the prices on your products. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do to survive. For sure.
And thrive, really. It's not even just about surviving, I think.
Yeah, and sometimes you got to take some risks, and you got to test it out.
Yeah.
You got to test it out.
Yeah.
You won't know till you test it out. You can only assume.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you need that feedback.
Right. And going back to what I was saying earlier about like reminders, I think another one of their lines that they said, I forget it was Layla or Alex, but entrepreneurs don't need to be taught. They need to be reminded, because a lot of these things, it's so true. It's like, I know these things. You say it and I'm like, I've heard that. But actually doing it, getting reminded to do it, getting reminded to be like, hey, like, have you thought of another offer, another bonus? It's like, it's a continuous thing. So just because you know all this knowledge doesn't mean you're a good entrepreneur. Yeah. You have to put it in action at the right time, and it has to be the right things too that you put in place. So that's the second.
Sweet. Oh, takeaway. That was awesome. Yeah,
thank you.
That was really good. That was really good. Man, I got something in my eye. Sorry.
Do you need eye drop?
No, I'm good. Okay, number 2 for myself. Takeaway. One of the main things that Alex Hormozi talks about is how the importance of investing in yourself. And that's a huge takeaway. Now, I've never thought about, you know, taking courses, going to events and such things, because for me, I used to think like, oh, those are all like scams, or why am I going to pay $1,000 or $500 or $1,000 to go to this event? Like, what am I going to get out of it? Like, you know, but there's so much value, so much value in these events. But as well, you have to do research on what's best for you, which courses you should take, which events you should be attending,
right?
And having a budget as well. But this is the first time that I'm actually allocating budget towards investing in myself.
And prioritizing it.
And prioritizing it. This is huge. And I'm excited because, you know, maybe finding somebody that I can talk to. Pay somebody and have like, hey, can you teach me how you're doing such and such?
Yeah.
You know, it could be anything in video editing, within my business, within my filming, within whatever skill that I want to improve. Now I'm not going to be afraid to pay somebody to share with me the knowledge that they have, that they've gained throughout so many years of experience. Because, you know, how am I supposed to get better? Why am I going to try to do everything?
Yeah.
Try to learn everything. So slow pace.
Yeah.
I'd rather know right away.
Right.
From somebody that's very knowledgeable in whatever it is that I want to learn. But I'm very excited about that. Very excited. And Sophia and I have been talking about this a lot. The thing is like networking too. It's so important to network.
Yeah.
You know, let's say we want to interview people on the podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
How are we going to...
right here.
Yeah, sit right here.
We're going to need another one of these pillows.
I know. By the way, for those of you who have followed so far, thank you so much. Please leave a comment down below. We would love to start
interacting
with you guys, talking to you guys. So make sure you comment.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Sophia, number 3.
So number 3, I got this from Layla for the most part. I think I'm at the point now where I do need to delegate some tasks that shouldn't involve me. But I love listening to her when it comes to management and hiring out superstars. And the thing that I believe I keep confusing who said what, but I know one of them said the success of your company at a certain point depends on how many superstars you have in your company. So pretty much I'm trying to hire somebody right now for copywriting and product description. And I have such a high expectation of what I want now. Whereas before I would hire somebody and I'd be like, oh, they're good enough. It's okay. Like they'll grow over time. No, I'm looking for a superstar from the start. Like point blank, end of story, period. I don't want to be at the position, to be completely honest, be at the position where I'm at now, because I do have a person that I work with that I think is good, but I don't necessarily think she's going to be management level.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that I can entrust to do more tasks than what she's doing right now.
Yeah.
Do I want to fire her? No, but do I want to keep her? It's like I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm not sure. And that's because I made the mistake of thinking that things were going to be better. I thought that things were going to be better down the line from the start. Now it's completely opposite. I'm going to go with my gut. If I don't feel like they're going to be a good fit and maybe they have potential, doesn't matter. I'm going to look at what they're at now. It's not about the potential.
Yeah, so. And I believe what they mentioned too, like you got to hire people that are better than you at what it is that you're looking for.
Yeah.
So they better bring into the table when it comes to copywriting to the point where you're like, ooh, I like this.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? It shouldn't be where you have to manage them. Where you have to be like, oh, can you, too much micromanagement.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the third takeaway, for sure.
Takeaway number 3 for myself is, one of the things that Alex mentions as well is the fact that, when you try to take ownership of your whole business, like you don't want to share any part of the pie because you want full ownership of it.
Yeah.
But the issue with that is that you're going to limit yourself. You're not going to expand. So one of the things that he talks about is like, you got to give part of your pie to get to the bigger pie.
Right.
To be able to expand.
Yeah.
You have to bring in people, partnerships.
Yep.
He's talking about.
Yeah.
And that like really, really got me open to partner with Sophia with this podcast, because she's so talented. She brings in a lot of knowledge, talent, hard work, dedication. She's smart. She's a quick learner. She's a business owner. So it's like, I'm really excited to be able to start a business with the podcast with, Creators Voices, because I think this is going to be big, you guys. So if you're not following, be sure to follow.
I know it's going to be big.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
We're excited. But yeah, share the part of your pie if you want to expand. Don't try to keep it all to yourself, because that pie is only going to get you so far. Sophia, any last words you would like to mention?
We can go on and on, but we'll go on in the next episode.
Yeah, see you guys in the next episode.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.